world's famous scientist?
I do not care.
Who? You know who the #1 podcaster is, though?
I don't care.
Me. No, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, why do you like him so much? I love Joe.
He's right.
Joe's
He's
great.
pretty overrated.
I think he's way overrated.
The stuff he talks about is
Some of the stuff he talks about is really interesting, and then some of it is boring as hell.
No.
I don't
Yeah.
Some of it is. Some of it is. It's not him. It's his guests.
No.
Sometimes his guests is just art.
He's pretty boring.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it's just the guests.
I don't find him.
Some of the stuff he talks about is boring.
His guests are amazing, and he asks questions that people would ask. He's
Yeah,
just good.
he asks what
because he
people
knows a lot
are
of
thinking,
shit,
Dayton.
I don't know who you.
He's smart. He's very talented. I love Joe. Don't ever show him. Why? I think he's one of the most he might have an opinion, but I think he's the most non-biased podcast I've ever listened to.
That's like me saying I think.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
You're nuts.
Yeah, you are nuts.
You are nuts.
Why am I nuts?
Joe Rogan's alright.
Because he's extremely political, so anything,
No.
Some of the stuff he says is
everything that he
alright.
says is filtered through his political beliefs.
Yeah.
No, I think that's been
Get him,
changed
Howard.
over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to him, he's very non-biased.
Everyone has bias, no matter who it is.
Not true.
Not me.
Not true.
Democrat or Republican.
Why have labels? Why do you have to be a Democrat?
Why are you asking me? Would you
Because you're either Democrat, Republican, or Independent.
But you don't have to. You don't have to confine in that.
I'm the
But if you had
president.
to pick, who would you lean on over the
Neither.
beliefs? Okay, what beliefs do you believe in?
My own.
What's your own?
My
So
own.
you're biased towards your own beliefs. That's
not
bias.
Huh.
It's
But I'm not saying. But
that's
I'm not.
bias.
but
Everyone
hold on.
has bias.
But I'm not saying that other people's beliefs are right or wrong. I'm not saying other people's beliefs are right or wrong.
You're gonna
There's no
miss
such
him.
thing as right or wrong.
You're gonna miss him in your arguments.
There is no
What?
real thing of right or wrong.
In what?
That's bias.
Every sense, right or wrong is a label.
That's bias.
What? That's like 2 plus
Right?
2 isn't 4.
Or wrong.
Welcome to Common
is
Core.
a label.
That's
Everything
bias.
in your life that you know is a label. The definition of right and wrong is a label. It is only
bias.
right or it is only wrong because someone else said that it was.
Everyone is biased.
Okay, so I don't think that murdering Phoenix
And I've
is
heard this
wrong.
one before. I've heard that example.
All right, so what's your
before.
argument?
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it's still a label. It's still perceived as bad as someone else. It can be perceived as something
But you
different. It's
perceive-
all about perspective.
You perceive your.
I'm not saying it's justifiable, but it's a perspective.
You perceive
Everything
your
is
thoughts.
a
But the
perspective.
law is
You're
not a
biased.
perspective.
The law was something that was made.
Yes, but it's not
Labeled.
But
It's
it's
a perspective.
not. I get what you're trying to get at, but you're not
don't.
following it through. Because the law is made. Yes, I get what you're saying about
Everyone
philosophy. That certain things could be right or wrong. It's
Because
all
it's
how you
all
look at it.
man-made.
But that's not
Say
true, though.
whatever.
There's are things that are definitive, set in
Your
stone.
own advice.
And
Period.
I agree with that, but
Killing
everything-
someone is
Tell me.
wrong.
It's-
Period.
And I
You're
agree.
6'1".
That's not a matter of perspective.
But that's where that label does come in.
But that's not
But in
perspective.
some other things, like what
Like
we're talking
what?
about, like what we're talking about,
No, I
there
know,
is.
it's funny though.
Why is someone
Because he
say
used
someone
he used to have the ego because he was always taller. than
loves
me.
Biden?
So,
Why would you love Biden's done nothing good?
He was about 5'11".
Someone who loves Biden
What?
and you take someone who loves Trump in the same room. They're going to tell each other
Yeah,
every
but that's
reason
totally different.
why Biden is wrong and why Trump is wrong.
That's
But
bias.
there is no right or
But
wrong.
that's an
That's
opinion.
bias. That's
But there's
opinion.
no
That's like
right or
a-
wrong.
But that's,
then.
I understand, but that's not everything that's
So
right
you-
or wrong.
So you bring it into facts of the things that one or the other has done.
Okay.
But you're confusing philosophy and the law.
No.
Sage.
Yes.
Not in the sense of murder. We're talking
My-
about politics.
Starting from the top, my point was everyone has bias. You proved my point. Everyone has bias.
But there's a certain different. It's a different type of
Having
bias.
having no bias is saying if you don't
Also,
believe
not
in
having
God, you
bias
believe in
is
God.
lowering your
Okay.
ego. Everyone is controlled by an egoic mind.
What did you smell me?
You smell.
Yeah, you smell.
What did I smell?
Go take a shower.
I just
Sweat.
I took a shower.
Yeah, wear deodorant.
When was that?
Hmm?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like me saying you're ugly, that's perspective. There's no right or wrong. But there is a wrong. Because you're not ugly.
There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong. There's
Like in
nothing,
my perspective, Phoenix is short.
there's
He's
nothing
not
wrong
that
with
short.
being ugly.
You got a tramp
Ugly
stamp that
lives
says ho.
matter.
It's funny.
Ugly lives matter.
Ma, what would you do if Sage got a tramp stamp tattoo that says ho?
I'm gonna put a tramp stamp on her while she's sleeping. and then we're
Tramp
gonna
Sam
talk.
says, I'm a hoe.
Enter
Did you
here.
have- I got a tattoo. Why not?
Because, you know, do you remember when we went to Disney years ago and your mother
No.
was pointing out? Don't remember
How
when
awesome we
went to
are.
Disney?
Nah, that's way too long ago.
No, you weren't. You weren't that young.
I was like 6, 7, 8. I'm
You were like
15.
9.
I'm 15. That's
You were
still
like
6
9.
years ago.
So?
Yeah, you were old enough
Oh,
to
you don't remember
that?
your dad from 6 years ago?
No, I don't.
Yeah, him.
I remember maybe some of the memories we had 6 years ago, but going to Disney and her pointing out tattoo
He
on
wasn't
people
9.
isn't.
No,
Dan.
your mother
He
did.
wasn't
Your
9
mother
because I
showed you.
know you guys 7.5 years and you didn't go to Disney since I've known
No, it was just before that.
Dan.
It was May before that.
You're supposed to be
What
on my
happened?
side, Howard, not his.
you.
Dude, what happened in
telling the
Manhattan
truth.
on September 11th of 2001?
9/11.
Seriously, you know that?
Speaking of, do you know the first time that I met Howard, what happened?
No.
When you and Sage miraculously lost my phone. Remember?
That
The
was-
phone that you took?
That was
Hey.
Dayton.
They blame you.
That's the first
They-
time
because-
that
Yeah.
happened.
They blame you.
They blame me.
That's
for
because
everything.
Dayton.
You wouldn't believe when you guys left, how we
Yeah,
in the house,
they-
how we
Dayton
look, how we
broke your
look
phone, Dayton
everywhere.
lost
for
the phone.
Dayton
I don't
lost
hear
the
this.
phone. Dayton lost the
Phoenix
phone
and
and
I-
lied about it.
We'll forever back each other up on this, right, Phoenix?
Yeah, we put your
Of
hot.
course they will.
We,
Of course they will. Just
we-
blame the baby brother.
No.
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 Your phone was angled like this
Hold
on
on.
a stack of papers.
It's on.
When we put your hotspot on, Dayton walked in your room after he woke up, went in your room, went on your phone, and when he
Notice
lost it.
how he
Let me-
remembers this.
And
like
let me
it was
tell
yesterday.
you. Let me tell you why we did that.
Because
I
you
went
abused
with
me
Phoenix.
so much of it. You said
No,
I
no, no.
Use my finger to unlock it.
I
You
didn't
didn't.
use
Your
your
finger
to
didn't
unlock it.
exist. You didn't need that then. Your
Ah.
phone didn't have that. First of all. Second of all, Phoenix and I went together. I remember the only reason why Phoenix and I went together because I made him do
That's
it
the point.
because we didn't want you to get mad at us for turning on the hotspot. So I had him do it.
This is
So it was see, I remember that
He
too.
was your
I
student.
walked with
go
him.
like
Yes,
this.
he was. He walked in. Your phone was exactly like that. He turned on the hotspot. I was
You might
standing
make
right
something
at the
you're
door.
like, actually,
This
I
is the
can't
door.
fire
I was standing right at the door. I watched him do it. Put your phone back down. We both went back
At
to our
that point,
rooms.
you might as well just.
After that, I don't know what happened.
That doesn't work.
Dayton went in
Phoenix
your
and I
room.
went together,
No.
and we watched your
They went in
phones
your
go
room
back
and
to the same
lost
spot
it.
that it was in.
They just made up a story and they stick
Someone
by it.
threw your phone away, probably Dayton. Someone broke it. Phoenix and I are each other's, what are they called?
What's that called?
Allies?
I agree.
Allies?
Alibi.
Your
We are each other's alibis because I watched. We're both not crazy.
your
Yeah,
phone.
You guys are crazy.
Your
At
They
the
made up
moment
the
we
story
were-
on the car
Can you
ride.
believe they blame you?
Yeah.
That's
I
'cause he
can't
You're
wasn't
believe
being
there.
gaslit right now, Phoenix. I can't do
No,
this.
so what happened was
They blame you.
No,
He's
they're
gaslighting
making-
that's
us,
because he
Phoenix.
was
They're making
responsible.
up. Look how
Look
mad
at the
he's-
way they're looking at each
That's what I'm
other.
saying. They made up
Because
this.
we know
No,
it's
listen,
true.
they made up the story on that car ride we took. They made up the story and told each other. And
No.
they lived
I'm
by
gonna
it
be on my
till this
deathbed.
day.
I'm gonna be on my deathbed, and they're gonna be like, "Mom, we have a confession."
No.
Dayton was the liar and lied to you where he did it. We don't know what happened
Poor
with it.
Dayton.
It's because I'm a kid.
But the thing is, from the time it was lost, it was still on because the hotspot was still on for
The
another
hotspot
couple
stayed on
hours.
exactly until your phone.
We
died.
don't know where it went, but it was inside the house.
And
the
then
only
they
person-
cleaned out the entire house.
It was. We just don't know where.
But no, but
You guys are fine.
they cleaned out the entire house from head to toe and redid it all, and the phone was never found. That means someone threw it away or chucked it out a window or
sold
something.
It. He sold it.
And
Where's
Yeah.
the money?
And it's not
Dayton?
like anyone broke into the house.
What'd you do with the money?
I spent it all on my drugs.
If you remember, I had a flood. We met somewhere between Orlando and my house because I had a flood.
It was Vero Beach or St.
And-
Lucie or something.
The painters came and the painters pulled everything apart and moved all furniture so that they could paint. It was
Never
fun.
found a phone.
Never
So
found
where
it.
did the phone go, Mom? Because Phoenix and I had nothing to do with
Maybe
it.
Phoenix
Of
just
course
kept on
he
to it
didn't.
forever.
No,
Just
you're
blame
the
your
one
baby
that was
brother.
the last
Could you
person
imagine
to ever
getting-
touch
They're
that
gaslighting you,
I
Dayton.
know.
No, you're gaslighting us. We remember this like I remember every single
Yeah,
detail.
you guys made
I
up the
might-
story. You have to live by
Hold
it.
on,
Otherwise,
hold
you're
on.
You
gonna
know what
get
they
caught.
said?
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
No.
In psychology, you will learn that when somebody remembers every single detail,
Yeah,
they're
it's
usually
a
lying.
lie. Yeah.
Fact.
Sage,
Hold on,
you should
hold on,
know
hold
these
on,
things.
hold on.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
I even learned that as a broker.
Hold on.
No,
Hold on,
you
hold on.
even accused me of losing my 3DS, and I found that in a box tucked away. So it's like,
Right.
It's,
Boo-hoo.
Well, hold on. I might have not remembered what I had for lunch yesterday, but I sure as hell remembered what happened 10 years
No.
ago.
My phone.
You
To
sure,
your phone
you sure as hell
with
remember
the
the
same
story you
story
made
that I
up.
told you the same
Oh no, the story
day.
has changed.
The story has not changed
The
at
story
all.
stayed
The
the
story
same.
has stayed the
Okay,
exact
let me
same.
just tell you. When I was a broker,
You have. Let's not forget that you might be developing Alzheimer's.
Oh my
so
God.
you're gonna forget everything.
when I was in Alzheimer's, when I was a broker, when people used
With
to try to
Alzheimer's.
pull this. I didn't say I was agree to send you money, blah blah. But yes, you did. But when people would remember every little detail, that means they were lying.
Mom, there are certain things that you can just remember. Do you remember do you remember the exact story of Brad and Joy? Do you remember that specifically?
Nope.
no.
How do
Oh my God, you
alright.
proved her point. Look at her thinking
Do
of
you
a
remember
new
the day
story.
that you-
But the
Grandpa got
drama
married.
is really coming out now.
remembers the exact
That's a
But
memory.
if she remembers every
That's a
detail of the
memory.
day that she got married, does that mean she's lying about it?
She doesn't remember every detail.
Okay, it doesn't
She said
matter.
I do.
The over dramatics of what you're doing.
You're gaslighting me. You're gaslighting me.
Dan was the one. Long story short, Dan
Yeah, yeah,
was the
sure.
one
You're
who
gaslighting me.
touched your phone and he lied about everything.
Yeah, he did it.
It's all Dayton.
He
It
did it.
was all Dayton.
Dayton,
Maybe-
you're forgiven.
Maybe it was grandma.
All
Maybe
Phoenix.
it was grandpa. Maybe grandpa did it.
All right, let me ask you a
Grandpa was
question.
a
Let me
lie.
ask you
No,
a
he wasn't.
question.
Was
If
he?
you guys knew it was
in
Dayton,
No, couldn't be if my.
if you guys knew it was Dayton,
Was it?
then
Grandma,
why?
dang.
Then why?
We don't know what was Dayton, but we do sure as hell know it wasn't
Start
us.
blaming him now.
Oh my God, the story changed again. You guys are lying.
We don't know if it was Dayton, but we sure as hell know that it wasn't
just a
Phoenix or
little
I.
cute, chubby little kid running
That's what
around the
I'm
house.
I
and
was
he
the-
didn't know that these two was scheming behind the scenes.
Why are you getting upset by what she said?
I was. Sage wasn't the person.
She's a
Drama
fucking
queen.
drama queen.
Me and Sage argued who would turn on the hotspot.
We did. We sat in bed and argued with this for 20 minutes to who turned the hotspot.
No, they
I made
sat there
him
for
do it.
20 minutes,
And they were
conniving
scheming.
each other.
They were sitting in bed arguing like, all right, so just in case this phone goes missing, we take it. Let's think of a story. We got our story straight.
Wait. Isn't
Man,
it time for you to admit it?
I literally don't know.
Yeah, Dean, where's your story?
I don't even remember Disney.
But
How
I'm
do you remember
supposed to
something even
believe
farther?
this one. Do you know what this one once did?
What did I do?
A
You'll
lot.
remember.
What did I do? No,
She thinks
no,
she's so cute
no,
and so adorable
no,
that she sat up top of her bunk bed,
no,
sitting up there, and decided, I'm not going to go to the bathroom. I'm just going to go down to Phoenix and pee on his bed. And that's exactly what she did.
That was Iowa. That was.
First of all, I was like 5 or
So why'd you
something.
pee in your own bed?
Second of all,
I was like 5 or 4. My phone
Second
got
of all-
taken.
second of all,
Not stupid.
that has nothing to do with the events of your phone. So hold on.
No, let's take this for instance.
so
Dan
you're
has lied. Dan,
changing
how
this-
many lies have you told in the past?
By the way,
year?
I spoke to Fred recently.
Who's
How's
Fred?
he doing?
He's doing all right.
I thought he
Still doing
died.
his business.
Does he still
What?
have his ex-wife?
Fred?
Does he still
Oh,
have
I
his
don't know. I
ex-wife
didn't
with
ask
him?
I thought Fred died.
Someone on YouTube didn't believe I was a broker in the music
Fred's
business. So
not
I was like, you don't
the
believe I was a broker? I'll call
blind-
fucking
the
my old
blind
boss
guy.
right now. So I hit him up on Facebook.
Hey,
I said,
that-
how do I know? I
the one
just
you're
hit him with
thinking
these
about, the one that's
random
missing a
fucking
toe,
questions.
Yeah, he died a while ago.
And he was
Yeah.
he's like, what? And I said, how do I know you? He's like, I was your boss. Okay, where were you my boss? Gainesville Land. Do you have Alzheimer's or something? I said, no, I'm live on YouTube and someone doesn't believe I was a broker.
You actually had to tell him he was being live.
What?
He could have sued you.
For what?
Because you had him on live and you didn't tell him.
I did tell him.
That's not illegal anymore. You can be recorded
So you
without
didn't even
consent.
find out I was doing it or anything?
No. I was just, and then afterwards he asked me something like, what the hell was that about? I said, something I believe I was a broker.
Notice how she changed the entire
That's how they're trying to
They're like,
make
there's
another
no way
story.
you were a broker in the music business. I said, ask my mother. Yes, I was. I was like, it was all different times of my life.
You know, wait a minute. People on your YouTube are mental cases.
Some of them are, absolutely. 150%. That is correct.
I don't get the whole thing.
It's not illegal to record people anymore without their
Well, it
consent.
depends what state you're in.
If you
But it's
make
like, why
it
would I
up,
lie
it
about my
is.
careers? Like,
That's
I don't
why-
need to lie about my fucking
That's under
careers.
the Constitution or some shit.
Wait.
The Constitution has nothing to do with this.
Oh, now you're gonna be a
Nah,
politician?
I'm lying.
It's
but-
called the law, but according to Sage, it's up for debate.
Yeah, you're doing a little.
Oh, guys, just bite her.
Let's just go back a second and notice how you changed the entire conversation to one story about me and then start talking about
Just
Fred.
drop it.
So you,
Just
so
drop
you
it.
No, because we were talking about you, and I thought of Fred.
but you changed
Yeah, I heard it was
the
something
conversation
else.
and said, well, why would I believe her if she?
Well, because
X, Y,
I
Z?
was kind of
That
seeing
happened-
Fred when
that
you guys
happened-
lost my phone.
That happened 6 years
I think I
prior
was
to
seeing
that.
Fred when I lost my phone.
6 years prior to that happened.
Just drop it.
Therefore, you're a liar. He's a liar. We're fine. Phoenix and I are fine.
Oh,
We're
now they're
innocent.
together. Now they're one.
We've been saying
Me
that.
and Phoenix.
We
Me
said
and
that
Phoenix.
the entire
Now all of a
time.
sudden they're
We
one.
said Phoenix and I will have each other's backs on this till the day we die.
Just drop it.
She's
I bet you
crazy.
will.
You're crazy.
I bet you
What
will.
goes on up here?
I'm feeling very gaslit right now.
Yeah.
I am.
You're being
I think
gaslit.
I think you're the one that's
feeling
crazy.
obstructed.
I
as
know,
hell.
right?
You're crazy.
I'm feeling very
I think
gaslit.
you're crazy.
Who
Sage.
raised her?
But we know, excuse me.
Okay, think about this. It's done. It's over with. The phone's lost. It's an old model. If it was in today's day,
Yeah, it was like a Note 5.
See
I
how he's
think.
trying to change the story?
It was-
He
it was
knows
a
that
Note
we're
5.
Yeah, it
catching
was.
on.
okay,
Okay,
Tell me
you
how
think
many-
it-
5 or 2?
Oh, who
it was
knows?
an old phone.
It sucked.
Oh,
That's
you're
all we
another
know.
phone? Was it Note 5?
No, 4.
You either
I don't
bought
remember.
it
Well, when he
or
sold it,
If you remember, yeah.
he sold it as a Note 5.
He had a no. It was
Yeah.
an 04.
When he made up the story, he had to think of a phone type.
Okay, name me every story you've told in the past since the day you were
Mad he
born.
is over nothing.
No one's mad.
No one's mad.
No one's mad.
Phoenix is extremely angry.
No
right
one's
now.
mad. You know? Ooh.
You can tell by how
ooh.
defensive he is.
Well,
No.
according to Sage, there's no right or wrong.
But well, actually, let me get to that. I'm gonna steer your brain a bit. There is
steer your brain.
I feel like I'm
the
obstructed
view.
right now.
The view of assumption. You just assumed that he was angry, but he's not angry. But you kept instigating the fact that he was angry
God.
and that he was pissed off and that he is so. What did you say?
Okay, George Bush, somebody needs to stop talking.
What the hell does George
Yeah.
Bush
What
have
does
to
George
do
have to do with anything?
Dane doesn't know what
But
he's saying
hold
half
on.
the
But
time.
hold on.
Dane talks so
Hold on,
far
hold
out
on.
of his.
But now
See,
he is.
he's mad as hell.
Hold on.
Butts his
Hold on.
mouth.
He
His
is.
Wait.
butts his mouth.
Wait.
His mouth
Pause.
is mad.
Hold on. You kept instigating so he would get mad.
Yeah,
Because
instigating.
normally when
You
people
want to
say,
know why? Because it's funny.
but normally,
Excuse me, for someone that's being blamed for a lost phone, I think he's handling it really well.
normally when you say to someone, oh, you're mad, but someone they're not actually mad, they're gonna get pissed off.
yeah, that's the whole point.
But it's not funny.
It is
It's not funny until an actual argument starts. What do you
But
think?
Sage,
Hold on.
is it right or
Hold
wrong?
on. What
Why
do
are
you
you
think?
gaslighting me
What
to keep
do you think
instigating?
you have gained from that? What you found
I gained
funny,
entertainment.
he found it harmful.
But is it right or wrong?
Sage,
It is
just,
entertaining, Dayton. Very
Sage, just drop
But is it right or wrong?
See, Sage, see how this argument is still going
You
on? It's
gained-
entertainment.
Hold on,
Sage,
hold on,
drop
hold on.
it.
You have gained. This is a moral thing. You have gained nothing.
Dane doesn't have
Hold on.
morals. We get it.
You have
Stop.
gained. See, now he's
Now he's
actually
mad as
angry.
hell.
You found it funny. Now he's mad. What have you gained from
You're the
that?
one that's mad.
Yeah.
Internally, what have you really gained from that? Have you gained anything? Does it bring you a sense
Did
of
he
power?
gain anything?
Does it bring you a sense of power?
Yeah, I'm under his skin.
Then you have a very egoic driven mind.
Uh-huh.
That is
Egoic.
your.
Want to be under his
Egoic's
skin.
not a word.
Egoic.
Different than
It's
what you're
you.
saying.
Everyone has an egoic mind.
It's ego.
Some are higher than
Egoic
others.
is a different
You
word.
live in a high egoic mind if you feel power
Egoic's
and
a
laughter
different
from his pain.
Not pain, his anger.
It's the same thing. It's the
No, it's
same.
not.
It's the same
That's
thing.
like, no.
It is the same category. Pain equals anger, sadness, frustration, happiness, every human emotion.
What?
You saw the Emotions movie too much.
Say,
I read books about
If
this.
you ever
What do
watch,
you read?
you ever
I read-
watch, you remember the movie about the emotions? You notice how there was anger and sadness were completely different? Crazy.
It's still pain. Stop recording me. It's still pain is a category. It is a category.
So is sadness.
It falls in the same category as pain.
No, it
It's a
doesn't. You said pain was its own category. So I mean, sadness is too. So it means they're under two different categories.
What?
You don't know if it's right or
you
wrong.
You said that anger or whatever was under its own category.
I did not
That
say
means
anger.
sadness
Whoa.
can't be its own
I did
category.
not say anger was under its own category. I said pain is a
Pain,
big,
my bad.
broad category that equals anger, frustration, sadness, etc. Whatever negative emotion
Pain
that is there.
in the
No,
ass.
not really.
Yeah, that pain.
Pain and
is,
anger and sadness are two different
when
emotions.
you think of pain, do you think of positive?
Pain?
When you think of pain, do you think of positive?
Yeah.
Some people do.
that's just a connotation.
That's just stop. That-
No.
Pain being you thinking pain is a positive and some people thinking pain is a positive
I use pain
is
as
simply
a positive.
but that's like trauma response is a bad word. It's living in a black world. It's living in a
I guess
negative
I live in a black world.
Seeing
It's
viewing
trauma
things
bonding.
You called me negative like a million times.
viewing pain as a positive thing
Mhm.
is you wanting to live in that dark world, you wanting to find the darkness in the world.
No, it's
People,
me.
You finding pleasure and making him mad is you wanting to live in a dark world.
Not pleasure,
Say
but I
it.
find it funny.
Hold on.
Look at this.
There's no hold on.
No, because Sage,
Hold
listen.
on.
No, my turn to
There's
talk.
no light. You're not finding the light.
I'm
in the
sorry,
world.
but it's my
You
turn to
can-
talk now.
Go ahead. I want
When I make him mad, right, I don't hope pain on him.
but it's
Am
your goal.
Yeah, at the time. For a moment in time, my goal is to get him angry because it's funny when he gets mad. But I don't hope that he stays angry all of his life. It's not the point. The point is for me to get under his skin just because we're in an argument. When you get under someone's skin in an argument, you win the
But
argument.
what do you gain from it? No, you don't. No, you
What
don't.
does
You
he lose from
actually,
it?
you lose. If your goal is to get under someone's skin, you actually lost everything.
No, you win.
Yes, you did. Maybe to yourself, but you lost your morals and you lost your dignity because you felt the need that you found pleasure in going under someone else's skin
No.
for your own benefit.
If you look at it in a
But
I'll agree with
realistically,
her.
you gain nothing.
Look at it in a different way. If you're looking at it from someone else's perspective, I'm
You
not
know
done.
that. You know that. You know
If
the
I'm
most
watching,
common saying-
shut up! When I'm watching two people argue, right? If I'm
You
watching,
better apologize.
no. If you
Yes.
if I watch you two argue, and I see you're trying to get under his skin, and
I
he's
don't
getting,
think it's good.
Let him
Go
finish.
it's an
ahead, go on,
example.
go on.
If I see let that sink in for a minute. If I see you trying to get under his skin and he's getting angry, then you are winning. That shows who both of you are as a person. That means when someone gets under his skin, it shows that he gets mad over it. And that creates a weakness that other people are gonna see. If I'm sitting here watching you get under his skin, that shows me that in an argument you are gonna try and get under the person's skin
Weakness
to win
is
the
not a bad
argument.
thing. Why is being weak a bad thing? Why is being weak a bad thing?
Huh?
Why is having weakness a bad thing? You
Having
just
a weakness is
Weakness
a very
is a
bad
bad
thing.
thing.
you just hold on.
Weakness is a horrible
You
thing.
just explained to me.
You were literally saying to be
Hold
weak.
on.
Why would you want
just,
that?
Hold on. You just explained to me how you gained. You just explained to me exactly what I just said. You explained to me exactly what I just said, and how you were looking for someone else's weakness and vulnerability. The most common saying is "kill people with kindness." That is the most.
Okay, Ariana
That is the
Grande,
most-
you can stop there for a minute.
Like
That's
cliche,
not the point of
hold
what
on.
I was
No,
saying.
but it is. That is the most cliche saying that's
It's
ever
cliche.
been said. But it's not wrong. Why is it you feeling the need to make other people angry and to make other people upset in an argument when you can be having just a simple discussion?
Well, do you know what that is?
When you're already in an
It's
argument,
wanting
then
to
it
live
doesn't.
in a
When you're
dark
already
world, because
Shush!
hold
When
on,
you're already
hold
in an
on.
argument-
No. I'm in a good point. Our society is filled with hatred. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. I really don't care. But our society is
So is
filled
YouTube.
in a dark. You are a prime example of that. Our society is fueled by fire. Fire is a metaphor for dark world. People will do anything to hate on you, to make you feel shit about yourself. That is what drives
Why-
suicide.
You can't let them.
Bad mental
Hey,
health.
but
You can't
guess
let
why
them.
someone
Because,
does that.
hold on, because it is projecting, it is their own, how they feel
Absolutely.
about themselves internally.
Absolutely.
You are a great example of that. But it is
She's dissing
projecting.
you. I'm not taking
How,
that.
hold up. How am I a great
YouTube,
example of that?
YouTube. You.
Yeah,
not
people come at
you.
me. I don't go after
Yes,
them.
you do. Don't lie to me.
No,
Yes,
I
you do.
respond.
It's the
No,
same
Mom,
thing.
I've heard you
when,
call people out
when
hundreds of
you could
times.
just
Oh, yeah.
Give me a
when
plastic
you could
bag.
just not respond at all.
Not gonna lie.
If Phoenix makes Phoenix, you're being used as an example so much. If Phoenix makes you mad, don't respond at all. You win. You know how many times? Example. You know how many times that he's gotten more angry at me because I said nothing at all? But I won that. I won because I didn't feed into his negativity.
But you know what else
I didn't.
is?
Hold on. I didn't.
No,
feed into that.
I'm gonna back
If
that
you
point
can-
up. No,
hold on,
I'm not
hold
done.
on, I'm not done.
I'm gonna back that
If
point up.
you
So
are-
basically, what
no,
you're saying is,
dang
if
it.
we're in an argument and he's getting angry, and if I stay, this entire conversation, have I been in a sullen tone the whole time? Yes.
No.
You're
No,
sitting.
you screamed.
No.
Okay, I screamed shush one
Doesn't
time.
matter. You screamed.
That wasn't a sign of anger. That was a sign of her to shush.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that was
that's
anger.
not
You're not in
respect.
this.
That's
I'm not
not
done.
respect.
Anyway, so I've stayed in mostly the same kind of area the whole time. You're kind of all over the place, jumping around. Sometimes you're screaming. Sometimes you're sitting there standing, and you're just
What does that
raising
mean?
your
Go on.
voice.
Let him finish.
Let me finish my point, and you'll hear it
Go
instead
on.
of interrupting, Mrs. Psychologist.
Go ahead.
But anyway, when
Keep going.
when
I'm
you're
listening,
getting
I have
when
a
you're
part.
getting
Hold on.
into a conversation and you stay in a more sullen, calm, and you're just sitting there in the argument and the other person's getting angry, it's better for you to stay in your sullen, calm tone
sullen
than
means?
to also
You know what
raise your
sullen
voice.
means?
Sullen?
Okay,
Yeah.
but all of that is good in theory. But
No,
when
it
you're
is.
actually in this
It's
situation,
a great example right here.
Yeah.
I've stayed
Yeah.
pretty calm this whole time, except when I
Okay,
said shush and
Sage
stuff.
Dayton.
You are not
Let's
in
put
this.
it-
You can
let's-
stop
let's
talking
put
right
it this
there.
way. Let's put it this
Anyway,
way. Dang,
and
you
obviously
have
when you're
a
getting,
res-
when I'm getting
Phoenix,
under your
hold on.
skin, when I'm getting under your skin, I'm staying pretty in the same area, pretty mediocre. You're all over the place, getting angry, getting hyper, and then you're getting annoyed.
Accusing me of these things is exactly what I was talking about. If you say nothing,
You've been this the whole time.
It drives.
Back
what
in
I've
the
learned,
sullen tone.
What I've learned is
Back
it
in the calm
drives.
tone. Notice how she was
people
screaming in the argument before this, and now
crazy.
she's back in the calm tone. Notice that?
It drives people absolutely crazy when you are okay and they are not.
Exactly.
It drives it. You
So
still
when
win.
you stay calm and normal, and they're getting angry, who's
and they
winning?
get angry, you are the
Exactly.
person who's calm. That is what I. Is that
That's
not
what
I
I.
just said?
Is that not what I'm trying to prove? I said the entire time, and if you would have just listened instead of going to get your damn notebook that you have, a bunch of psychology tips off of a
You're getting-
Wikipedia
you're getting
page.
annoyed now.
I'm not getting
You are.
annoyed.
You are.
You
causing
went that
this. You
calm,
are.
sullen
No.
tone.
I'm
man, I should
I'm
have
not
done this
raising my
live.
voice. But anyway, when you went to go get your notebook,
You don't
that's
have to
filled with
raise
a
your
bunch
voice
of
to get
tips from
So you're
Wikipedia
accusing me-
pages.
It's this is from books that I read. Do you read books? No.
I do.
Shut up.
I do. Anyway, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, as you'll notice what I said in the previous conversation, when you stay calm or mostly calm, the other person's getting angry, you are winning. Have I not tried proving that 3 times now? I have.
Yeah, but
Every
it's easier
time.
said than done.
First of all, it doesn't
No.
mean that you're winning.
All right. All right.
No, it does. It
it
clearly
doesn't.
shows a representation of how both people are going to react in an argument that's similar. So say me and Aiden are arguing, for example. If I'm staying pretty calm and I know I'm winning this argument, there's no point for me to raise my voice and change my representation to show that I'll get annoyed a lot easier than him yelling at my face.
You
So-
want more
That doesn't mean
salsa?
that-
so if he's sitting there yelling, and then I start yelling because I'm getting annoyed, that'll show that it's annoying me. Correct? Okay? That already is opening up a weakness spot that you'll notice if you raise your voice in the argument to me while I'm staying calm, that I'm also going to raise my voice. That's how you get under my skin. Oh, I got a burp.
Time out.
Anyway,
Time out.
so that is a perfect representation of when you stay calm, you are winning the argument. Like you said, you're not always winning, but you really are, because this entire conversation, I may have seemed annoyed. I raised my voice once to say shush because she wouldn't stop talking. But overall, I've stayed calm. And it clearly shows that you may have proven some better points, but I'm clearly winning the argument mentally wise. You're screaming, you're jumping around, you had to go get your notebook for facts that you've read books about, whatnot. I'm not going to diss you for that. I was just joking. But you clearly can tell that when you stay calm and you get under people's skin, that you win the argument.
When you purposely
Get under someone's skin.
Go under somebody's skin on purpose because you know it's going to upset them. That means that you really feel inferior to them.
No, thank you.
Inferior.
Absolutely.
It is projecting. And that brings up my lovely point. Are you all right. And I will quote the author too. I'll quote the book, And the Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. He said, I'm going to read a couple quotes before I have my commentary. He said, just as you cannot fight the darkness, you cannot find the pain body. I'll explain what the pain body is in a second. Trying to do so would create inner conflict and thus further pain. Watching it is enough. Watching implies accepting it as part of what it is at that moment. Focus attention on the feeling inside of you, knowing that it is the pain body, accept that it is there. Don't think about it. Don't let the feeling turn into thinking. Don't judge or analyze. Now, what is a pain body, you may ask? Everyone has a anyways. Everyone has a pain body. It lives inside of you, it lives inside of you, it lives inside of you, it lives inside of you. It's what creates pain. You can focus, you can choose to live with it for the rest of your life, or you can choose how to let go of it. Pain body also leads to the egoic mind, because everyone is run by an egoic mind. Some are higher than others, but everyone has it. That is why some people are narcissists, or some people are psychopaths. They live in their own mind, and they let it feed onto them. So you saying that what Grandma had said about her, like you feeling inferior because you felt the need to put pleasure on him, it's also just a matter of projecting. So you feeling like you have to argue with him back or have to make him angry is just you living in your own internal pain body. You living into the fact that there is something inside of you that you are missing. Whatever it may be, you can say no, you can say yes, you can agree, you can disagree, but there's something inside of you that you are missing that creates that anger or that reason to make yourself more confident by making him angry. Does that make sense?
No.
Does that make sense?
It really doesn't.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, it does.
if you look at it in a different perspective, from my perspective, I get under people's skin in arguments. Now let me ask you a question. I'm not done talking.
Go ahead.
Anyway, from your notebook, I'm sure in your book you read about, would you, like, this is more of a thing. If you saw two people arguing, and you saw one more calm and trying to get under the other's skin, versus one screaming in the other person's face, trying to get the other person who was calm to get up and also start screaming.
Yeah, but sometimes the person that's
tell
calm.
The story is more far-fetched.
Sometimes the person that's calm isn't always the good person.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the calm person is
It's
a condescending
condescending.
cunt.
Thank you. It doesn't just because
It
you
doesn't-
are
But
calm.
they do feel inferior to the
That
person.
doesn't change the perspective of the argument at all.
Yeah, it does.
It
No,
does.
it doesn't.
Because
Because
a condescending one could be lying about you, and you're going to get
Exactly, and
pissed
you're
because
gonna-
somebody's
so,
lying.
Like why
That's
the
your
hell did you
fault,
say
then.
that?
why are you getting angry if you know it's not true?
Because you
It
don't
is-
want
it
somebody
is-
to be saying something
It is
that's
the
not
human
true.
body. It is how emotions react. Everyone, you cannot just. No one is completely free of emotions. Whether you feel you're numb or not, no one is completely free of their emotions. It is just repressed.
If I
That's what
went
makes
on my
people
channel
numb.
and told thousands of people that Dayton came to me and he's gay, how would you feel?
That's
Would
great.
you be angry?
But would you be
No.
angry if
I
I
just-
told thousands of people this?
I don't need other people's acceptance to then
See?
need to know if they
Alright.
believe you or not.
Okay.
If
okay.
there's real people that I know, for example, let's say my friend group, my really close friend group, if they all want to believe I'm gay, that's too bad.
What if- okay.
I don't really care if a few thousand 50-year-old women and men care
Wait.
if I'm gay or not.
have a
I
better
do not care.
I have a better
your
example of
community,
what
your
your friends
community
think.
is a bunch of gay people.
Okay, what
my
if I made
friends-
an announcement at the school that
Alright.
that Dayton
No.
is
I have a
gay?
better example. I have a better
and then
example.
guess what it would go to? Then I'd be best friends with all the
Someone-
girls at the school.
You're in the locker room.
I'm
Hold
not
on.
losing.
Hold on.
I'm not losing.
You're in the locker room.
Let all the
raised
hoes
you well.
be all over
I
me.
raised you well.
Let all the hoes be over me.
Okay, first of all, you're not gonna get women if you call them hoes or bitches. Second of all, if you are in the locker room,
Let them
if
all
you are in
come
the
after
locker room-
me.
Hold
I
on.
guess I'm gay at school now.
if you are in the locker room,
Hey,
and
Darren's going to Europe.
Hold on. If you are in a locker room and some guy who doesn't like you took a picture of you while you were in the shower
That's
and
not new.
hacked into mom's thing, posted it all over the school, over to thousands of people. Would you not be angry at that? That is so different from being gay.
That is so different.
Your penis, ass, body,
That's-
and face are on the internet, at the school, everywhere.
But you also gotta
Would you not be
realize,
angry?
look at the kind of difference you just turned a statement versus photo.
She's saying the guy that took it is calm.
No, that's not what I was saying.
That's not
You
what
said
she's saying.
being gay was a bad example because
I thought it
sometimes
was a good
people don't
example.
care. People don't care.
Exactly.
If your whole entire naked body was posted everywhere, would you not get mad?
I mean, I think it would
Oh
be
wait,
annoying.
yeah, I did say that. That is what I'm saying.
It would be annoying, but you also have to realize, at that point, that's not a matter of an argument anymore.
Exactly.
That's on-site fighting. If someone did that to me,
You don't know
I'm
who
going
did
to
it.
buy a gun
You
and
know
I'm
who did
shooting
it,
that
but
bitch.
You thought it was mom. What if you thought it was mom? What
I
if
know.
you said, Mom?
Where's if
why did
I'm
you
at
post
school?
this?"
How's mom taking a picture of my ass?
See,
Someone sent it to her.
let me just remind you.
That still wouldn't
Katie's
make
way
sense.
bigger than me, so yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Sage, you also have to take it.
Hypothetically,
I'm not
this
done
is all
talking.
hypothetical.
Sage, I'm not done talking.
It wasn't a
How
good
is she
example.
getting a
Sage.
picture of
My
me
gay
at
example was way
school
better.
taking
It
a
doesn't
shower?
matter. She got the picture.
No,
It
because
doesn't. No.
no, you use some
No, that's
context.
wrong.
Use some context clues here. How is she getting a picture of me at
Okay, that's
school
not
when
the
she's
point.
not there?
That's
She's
not-
50 years
She
old.
took the picture of you. in
Why
the
you gotta
shower
keep
in the
age shaming?
Dan,
Because
this
you're
is
50.
this is
Stop
not
age-shaming.
that's not the point. The exact details of my example is
Right.
not the point of
Right.
this discussion.
It clearly
It
is.
wasn't.
No.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's not.
It was not. It was an example of would you get angry or not. Us speaking right now is a matter of who gets angry, who doesn't get angry. You can. Ooh, that's a good example. You egging on my example of what I just said and trying to pick out every detail when it's nothing to do with it is just a matter of you trying to get under my skin because you know that it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
So
you know it has nothing
you're
to do.
changing arguments of people getting under each other's skins and screaming versus a naked photo.
Stop
posted
doing
all
that,
over.
Dan. You're gonna scratch the
Everything
floor.
connects, Dan.
It doesn't connect at
naked
all.
photo has nothing to do with
you
this.
keep turning this so that it goes to your way.
That's my
without
boy.
Thinking about the
That is my boy. High five. High five, Dayton.
How do you win an
Dan,
argument?
high five.
How do you, no, Grandma, how do you win an argument how do you win an argument if the entire conversation isn't directed to your
Why do you-
side?
whoa,
That is
whoa.
not how an argument
Why
works.
do you feel the need to
You-
win an argument? Why do you feel the need to win something?
Why am I not live for this?
Why
This
do
is
you-
great shit.
Shut up. Why do you have to?
Because I don't
Why do you
accept
have to
I
win
don't
something?
accept to
You don't-
lose. I don't
why
accept
not?
to know.
Why not? That is
Because I
such-
don't.
Your ego is here because of
Yeah,
that.
it
Why
is.
can't you accept that you have to lose sometimes? Why do
People
you
with
always
big
have to be
egos are
right?
very
Because
insecure.
I don't accept
Hey,
failure
people
myself.
with big
I
egos
accept
are very insecure.
insecure.
Your ego is here right now, and you
No,
cover
my
that
ego
up.
is always here. My ego is always
That's
here.
not
On the
good.
field,
That is
when I
not-
box, the more confident I get, the better I'm gonna end up.
That is.
Look at Mike Tyson, for example.
Mike Tyson is not an egoic person. He has a
Oh,
talent.
really?
He is.
Let me
I listened to
explain-
him
let me
speak
explain
for 3
some-
hours
let me
one
ex-
time.
let me
I listened to
explain
Mike
something.
Tyson
I
speak
wouldn't
for
use
3
Mike
hours.
On one of
Tyson
my-
as a
The first one of the fights Mike Tyson had right out of prison, Iron Mike Tyson, one of his first fights, he dreamed, he envisioned and he dreamed. I don't remember his name. He was beating him. Mike Tyson's a great example of not accepting failure. You either win or you learn. He doesn't accept a loss because that's not how he looked at things. And I don't look at it like that
Mike
as
Tyson
much
as
either.
a person.
I'm
is a
still
piece
not
of
done
shit.
talking. Huh?
He's a piece of shit.
Oh, that's a stretch. But anyway.
It's not.
Mike Tyson was walking onto a fight, and he was the closer he got to the ring, the more confident he got, but the more scared he got. Because you need the only
Where is
way.
this going?
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Like when I'm done talking, you'll understand.
Okay.
So you'll realize, ego-wise, if your ego's here, you have to have the idea and the feeling that you are better than them. You have to have the idea and the
But
feeling.
you're not. But you're not.
Okay, but that's not the
You
point.
think you're better
You
than
need to
is-
think
is
that
your
way.
Insecurity.
How else are you gonna win?
Why?
Sage, use Use a football.
Sage, he's not wrong.
Use a
He's
football
not- that's
game
not wrong.
as an example. Use a football game as an
Right.
example. You know,
That's
Bob Jones
about-
versus
James
Phoenix. Number one school in the football team in the state. They won state 4 years in a row. If we win against Phoenix, it's not a matter of who's the better team. It's about the matter who thinks they're better. It's not about
He's
who
not wrong,
plays better.
Sage.
It's about who has the more confidence. If Phoenix is worried,
That's the
if they're
secret.
worried and they think that they
That's
can think that
manifestation.
we're gonna win and they don't have the confidence, but we know that we don't have much of a chance. When we stay confident, guess who's gonna win? The confident team, because we're not scared of losing to them because we already have the envision.
That says nothing.
We
to that,
already
though.
have the envision that they're better
that is
than us, but that's not the
manifestation.
point. The point is to have the more confidence over the other team. The more confidence you have, the
That's-
higher chances you have of winning, because that's an egotistical thing.
No. That is what he just said. That's manifestation. If you going into a game thinking I'm gonna win this, and you keep telling yourself that, and your entire team is collectively confident in the fact that you are going to win, and you guys are confident what you're doing.
What was the original question, point of this argument?
The egoic mind and pain body, the one I just brought up in the book. If you
My
go
ADD
if you
kicked
go
in.
into if you go into something thinking that you are going to win, your whole team is collective on that, then you are. That is manifestation. That is
Exactly.
the law of attraction.
Who cares
attraction,
about
exactly.
manifestation? Nobody cares about that.
That's what you're doing.
That's what you're
Exactly.
just saying.
But where's the problem about that?
That's what you're
What's
saying.
wrong with that, though?
Nothing's wrong with
Nothing's
manifestation.
wrong with it.
It's-
And why are you
you
still arguing
strayed away
about
from
this?
the argument of egos. You have.
It's two different things,
They're-
really, is what she's saying.
Thank you. They're two
It's-
completely different
Two
things.
different things, but it's a great example of it.
No.
It really is.
it's
Egos.
not.
What's the difference between ego and confidence?
There's a
lot.
lot.
A lot.
Your ego, there are a lot of people in this world, their egos are pure and they should be all the way down here.
Like
you should
you.
not have a high
please,
ego.
yes.
You should not have a high ego. That means there is a lot inside of you internally that you really should work on.
The goal of
self-healing. You should
but-
learn how to self-heal of your egos all the way up here because you think that you are superior to everyone else, but you're not.
No, I don't
Hate
think
to
I'm
break it to
superior
you.
to everyone else. I think I'm superior over the people who I know I am.
So let me ask you a question, Sage. Let me ask you a
Yeah,
question.
ego. That's ego.
The people who I know that I'm better than,
Don't
I'm not gonna
misconstrue.
accept- I'm
Hold
not gonna
on, Dave.
accept failure.
Don't-
That's good.
Don't misconstrue
But I don't think
There's-
an
I'm not gonna
ego,
hop
like an
into a box-
overinflated
I'm not gonna
ego
hop into a
and
boxing ring with
insecurity.
Mike Tyson and think I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
I know
Don't
he's
mistake that for
inferior-
someone's
I know he's
accomplishments.
superior to me and he's
That's
Like,
two different
I'm
things.
very proud of my accomplishments, and I have a big ego for my accomplishments.
But that doesn't mean you have an ego.
But
that is something
do I
that
think
you
I'm
did-
superior or no?
But that's not an ego. What you just said is not an ego.
It's-
You should be
exactly.
proud of your accomplishments and everything that you've accomplished, everything that you've worked for and that you've done. You should talk about. You talking about it is not an ego. It is facts. It is something that you are proud of yourself for.
Mm-hmm.
That is not negative on yourself. That is not bringing down insecurity. That is not an ego.
But then there's a
Mom.
humility though
Mom.
that keeps
Yes.
that in check.
Yes.
That's what I was just trying to tell him. There's a bit of humility that knowing that you don't know everything and that you always have something to learn, which
Absolutely.
is
And
Mike
that-
Tyson's point on that. He doesn't take a loss. Does he say he doesn't take a loss, or does he say he always learns something from his encounters?
I
It's
listened
not
to
about
3
because
hours
you
of
can
talking.
lose. It's not bad to lose.
Learn to
We
accept
have-
a loss.
Yes.
All
Otherwise,
right, but hold on. I can back up Dayton's point with this because I don't think this is a big ego. My lawyer in my custody fight has not lost a custody case in 19 years.
That's facts. That's not ego.
But
Exactly.
his ego was big because of it, and he was very proud of the fact that he had not lost a custody case.
Because some people.
But he had to go in there saying, and I'm not going to lose number 20. That's what Dayton's saying.
Manifestation.
that's
That's what we
manifestation.
just talked about.
That's
and your
but
lawyer.
that's without ego.
And some people are. Yes, he has never lost a case. He did some pretty cool things. You can give him credit for that.
Absolutely.
But if that is what he bases everything on, his personality, he is building if he does, he's building his ego up to here because people get absorbed in their own heads. They get absorbed in the things that they have done that makes them think that they are superior to everyone else.
Sage,
That
what
is where
year
your
is it?
ego takes over. Why does that matter?
Sage, you live in 2023. You live in some of the most advanced and like the most psychological type of time that we've had in all of history. You can't Literally, the way we live now is ego-based. Name me
No,
one.
That's
that's
bad.
wrong.
That's
Regardless
bad.
if it's bad, look at
He's right,
look
though.
at bodybuilders, look at powerlifters, look
Exactly.
Look at
at
social
Facebook,
media.
social
Social
media.
media.
anything like that. Everything is ego-based. I see some of the ugliest
Shut
bitches
up.
on
Why are you
TikTok
yelling?
because now I'm getting annoyed.
No.
Oh, but
Because
you're
your points-
yelling.
Because your
You're
points are
yelling.
retarded. They don't add up.
This is
Wait.
psychology.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Because
They're arguing
Let
two
me
different
explain.
points.
Because you believe that you live in 1885 and everyone lives in like the same time. Say
No,
it
this
is
is pretty
2023.
advanced
The
psychology.
world is revolved around ego. Look at girls on
He is
TikTok.
right.
I
He's
see-
right.
I'm not done talking.
Wait,
Look
wait,
at some of
wait.
the girls on TikTok. All of them post. Look, I mean, let me use a perfect example here. Look at some of the. Have you ever listened to any podcast by whatever.com, by any type of real world podcast now? You'll realize they bring girls on, and you can use that for example. You'll look at some girls who say they're a 10. They get rated by, let's say, 150 dudes. Every single one of them completely disagrees. Guess why? That's all ego. They all believe in their mind that they are 10 out of 10s. They have perfect personalities, that they are perfect people, when in reality, they are nothing compared to that.
Perspective.
No,
Hold
that's
on,
ego.
Hold on.
That's
Hold on.
perspective.
That is
Hold
not
on. I have
perspective.
two
That
No,
is
points
have
ego.
here.
some perspective.
I
is
have
what
2
she's saying.
points here. I have 2 points here, and I would like not to be interrupted.
How many
One,
girls? No.
hold on,
Jared, I
hold
have a
on. I'm
question.
gonna forget
Pretty
this.
good.
I'm gonna
Jared,
forget this.
I have a question. Zarin, I have a question.
Mhm.
How many girls have you seen call themselves a 10 that are like 5s?
That is.
I'm
All
not.
Oh! Don't
How
answer
many-
this.
like,
I will be
listen
so
to a
mad at you.
podcast or
Do
anything
not
like
answer
that.
this.
No,
I
don't
can't
listen to what she
answer.
says. Give your honest opinion
I
here.
have
Have
a
you ever?
point.
She
How
has
many
2
people have
points.
you seen nowadays that are not pretty or attractive at all that call themselves 10s?
Well, okay, so to
I'm
call
gonna lose my
yourself a
point.
10.
Please hurry this out.
No, okay. I don't want to mess up anything. It's just like a lot of females and a lot of people just call themselves a 10. Well, just based off of like
Off of looks.
yeah, or no, just for, it is equal. I don't know what the whole fucking point is and what all this is going
Doesn't
on.
matter.
Feel
You
good
asked the
about
question.
themselves.
Just answer the question honestly. Don't
Quick,
care
come
what
on.
she says.
Stop elaborating.
Yeah.
Stop elaborating.
He agrees with me. It's all
Alright,
ego.
alright. That is perspective.
No, that's
That is
ego.
an opinion. Girls who think that they are confident. Do you think you're a 10? Do you think
No.
you're a 10?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Someone else could think that
Oh
you're.
wait. So when
someone
it's a
else-
girl, if it's a girl,
Hold
it's a
on,
perspective.
hold
But
on.
when if it's a guy,
That's
it's
not
an
what
ego.
I'm saying. Let me
I'm a
finish.
10.
Let me finish. I was not there. Someone else, some girl, some guy could think that you are the most beautiful person they've ever seen in their entire lives.
Honestly, it's about confidence.
It's
really.
confidence. It's
Confidence and
perspective.
ego.
Also, your whole
Confidence
point.
and
hold
ego.
on.
That's
hold
the
on.
bad side.
Your whole point
There's
that you
two sides
just
to-
made, your entire point that
This
you just made
intention.
was going back to the exact same thing that I said earlier. Was that we are driven by a dark world. You thinking, hold on.
We
please
are
let me
driven
finish.
by an
Let
ego
me
world.
finish.
Dayton is
Now,
100%
anyway,
proven
let me say
correct.
something.
Finish.
So
Let me
basically
no,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying-
please let
Hold
me
on,
finish.
finish.
If
Let me
I
finish.
see
Please,
myself,
no.
if I saw
Dang it.
myself as a 10, but a girl sees herself as a 10, it's a perspective
I'm a
of hers,
10.
but it's an ego of mine.
No, that's
Make
not
it
what I
make
said.
No, that's
That is
not what she's
not
saying.
what I said. It's all the same. It is a perspective.
I'm a
You-
10.
Shut up, please. You thinking, stop. You thinking that you just twisted my words. I
Yeah.
asked you a question. I asked you a question and said, do you think?
I know.
I asked you a question saying, do you think that you are a 10? That is
Yes.
like me ask. Shh. That is like me saying.
You shh.
Do I think that I'm a 10? But someone else could think I'm the most beautiful person in the world. I did not ever say that you are full of ego because I asked you the same question. It is all about perspective, and that goes back to my original point that, let me finish this, that we are driven by a dark world because ego is one of the highest, shut up, is one of the highest things out there right now. It is all about no one cares about peace and love anymore.
Oh, so
It's
you
all
prove-
about
you proved my
hold on.
point.
It's
I know.
all about-
She just
you
said
just
exactly what
explained
you
my
said.
point.
I said that in the beginning, and that is how this whole thing started. I said that in the beginning,
What?
and now we made a full circle. I literally started this argument.
Holy shit.
I
dude.
literally started this argument by saying that we are driven by a dark, egotistic world, by a dark world, and no one wants to find light in it.
Yo, that is
exactly.
gaslighting at its finest.
This is the most like
Sorry, was Sorry,
This is
Winston.
the dumbest argument I've ever
That
heard.
is what
And I'm a part
It's
of
gonna make great YouTube
Did I
material.
not say that in the beginning? Did I not say that this world?
I should have had this live. I don't
All
know why I
can
didn't
tell
hit
you
live.
is,
All I can
know
tell
a
you is
woman-
I'm right.
wait a minute. I know a woman, if she was a 1, it was a lie.
I need more alcohol.
She thought she was a 10.
I know.
And guess what that is, Grandma? That is ego!
No, it's not.
That is pure ego. I wasn't I was hyper because I'm right.
Yes, I like to.
That is
Oh,
pure
you are
ego.
hyper. You're not supposed to be
No,
hyper.
I'm hyper because I'm
You're supposed
right.
to say-
No, 'cause
I
you
need
just called me
alcohol.
right. I'm hyper because you called me right. And you've been on her side this whole time. I
Dayton
feel
is
like.
right though. We are an
It is
ego-driven
an
society
entire-
today.
Said
It is
that
the
in the
entire,
that
the
is the-
entire
That's
world
the
right
point.
now
Of
is
your,
ego
wasn't that the
driven.
point of what you're?
You
In the
have
very
to.
beginning?
That's your point.
Fluffer is
Okay.
shaking.
But Sage, the thing is, I understand that you may have started this conversation like that, but you completely avoided the fact when I said, if the world is driven by ego, what year is it? You didn't want to.
What does that have to do with anything?
You are living in like the 1900s when it wasn't an ego-driven
No.
place.
But no,
I
but
am bringing
ego's
that
bad,
point
man.
today.
Okay, but I get that, but you gotta understand, it's not a thing, in a personal opinion, like you guys saying ego's a bad thing. That's
It's-
great, that's not a worldwide opinion.
It,
If enough
True.
people believe 2 plus
True.
2 was 5, then 2 plus 2 is now 5.
but there needs to be a change, is what I'm saying, and I think that's what she's trying to get at too with the spiritual, her drive, is that needs to change. We are in such
Close
an
up
ego.
is scary.
An ego. We are in such an ego-driven, self-centered society that we have to change that, or we're going to really destroy
But very
ourselves.
unfortunately, there's
that's
been
why we
not-
have global warming.
There hasn't
'Cause
been
people won't give up the
1%
goddamn
of change noticed. I would say in the last 5 years, there hasn't been 1% of change noticed towards your like the better part that you guys are trying to say, like the unself-centered part, no ego side. That has not been
I am not
Depends on your focus.
0.5% improved towards that. I would say in the last 5 years.
I
at
am
least.
not saying that there will never be a non-egoic driven world.
There
I
won't
am not
be.
saying there will never be. There has never been a place of just peace and love. It's all been hate. We've had wars. We've had the depression.
So now you're going back
Ego
to
Well,
imbalance.
everything.
It's about getting ego
Yes,
in balance.
it is about balance.
It's about balance, because being an actor, and I need to have some sort of ego to drive me as any kind.
That's
we
what
have,
Dayton's point was
That's
to
right,
we are
begin
we're
with.
driven.
Point here,
we are
bro. I
driven
don't-
by that, but it has to be in check, and there has to be humility to balance it out, and there has to be compassion for others and compassion for the universe and the world at large.
Okay, I get your guys'
Thank you,
entire point here, and I respect your
yelling.
opinion. But you
You're
guys don't
yelling.
understand the fact that's not changing.
But wait,
I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to be negative
let me
here.
back you up on this.
Shush.
Let me back you
I'm
up.
not
Hold
trying
on.
to be negative here. I'm not done talking. I'm not trying to be negative here, but if you look at any kind of self-centered, let's say look at any kind of video, a podcast using ego or self-centered people, if you look at anything like that in the last, let's say since COVID started, so 3-4 years, look at anything like that, there hasn't been a singular thing changing. So I don't get like,
But
it
wait,
just
wait.
doesn't make any sense
But
why
Dayton,
it's...
Dayton, let me be on your side for a second.
Because
Let
it's
me-
going to get
Generation
forced
has
to change.
Let me be on your second. Let me be
It's
on
not,
your side
but
for a
that's not
second.
gonna happen.
Dayton, listen,
Oh,
listen,
yes.
listen.
I know
A
it
change
should.
is coming.
It definitely should. I agree,
Change
but
it
it's not
doesn't.
happening.
Dayton, let me be on your side for a second.
You know what's gonna
You know
change?
what?
Party
Hold on,
City's gonna
hold
close.
on.
Ooh, we should go.
We are talking about the exact same thing right now, but in different perspectives.
Exactly.
You saying
I
you
literally
saying
said
that,
I
hold
respected
on,
your
hold
opinion entirely,
on,
and I see your
hold
point, but that's
on.
not
Let
what
me-
I'm saying.
on your side right now. Let me finish.
Yeah, because
Mom's
we're
saying, well,
seeing
he
eye
just
to
brought
eye.
that point up. And I said, well, I brought Mom that same point up in the beginning. We are talking about the exact same thing, but in a different perspective with different terminology. Bringing back the point, in some concepts, there's no such thing as right or wrong. We're talking about the exact same thing, but looking at it through a different lens.
Can you
And
repeat one thing
sometimes-
I said?
And sometimes people
I'm
look
genuine
through
question.
a magnifying glass, metaphorically, through a different lens.
But can I ask you a question? Can you repeat one thing I said in my conversation before you just started talking? Can you repeat one thing?
From the very beginning,
No, from just now, when I was talking about my whole thing. Can you repeat one thing? You
Probably.
can't. So you
No,
clearly
no,
weren't
no.
listening to what I said.
I
Because what
can't-
I was saying is exactly what you're saying, but through a different thing. I said
That's
I
right.
respect
You guys are seeing eye to eye right now. You
No,
guys,
hold
just,
on,
you
hold
guys,
on.
hold on.
Let me-
Now take
Dane,
it. It's time to take it down.
You're not. It's not gonna go.
No,
I know
I'm
what
not,
you're saying.
I'm not giving this up. Hold on. Listen, I said right before you start talking, I agree with your opinion. I respect it, but it's not changing. You clearly didn't hear me because you just went on for another 3 minutes talking about it's a different perspective, but the same
We
thing.
did not say the same thing. We did not say the same thing. We did not say
You,
the
well,
same thing.
you just said we're on the same page here. Did you not?
From the whole conversation, from the point about the ego and the mind.
Yeah,
and
that's
ego
what I'm talking
and how the
about.
world is full of ego. We are on the same page. There is no need to argue with that.
Part
That
of-
is an okay and done conversation. We are having the same conversation, repeating it out loud in different terminology, different perspectives, and different mindsets.
But how
We're
is it a
looking at the
different
world
perspective
through a
when
different
it's
lens.
when
That
it's
is-
a
that is
dream
an
world
okay and
versus
done
reality?
conversation.
You're living in a world where you believe that there needs to be a change, which there does. I agree with you 100%, like I just said. I agree with you. But I don't think you've realized the fact that it's not changing. I understand. That's not what I'm saying. It hasn't. I said it hasn't.
Oh, right, you're right.
Does it need to or does it? Should it?
He
Yes.
did. He did actually
But I
agree.
said
Friday City
there
closing isn't gonna
isn't a
change
change.
either.
There hasn't been a change in the last 3 years at all.
Doesn't mean it's never going to happen.
I didn't say it wasn't ever going to
And also,
happen.
has
you're wrong.
been change.
There has been so much
Wait,
change.
there has
You're
been a
wrong.
lot of change
To
in the
ego.
wrong direction.
Exactly.
ego, you're saying.
Exactly.
I'm just
Because
sitting there eating my
it's
chip.
I'm
because-
saying change back towards what you guys are wanting. Back to a peaceful,
No,
It's
I
not
said
what
love,
we're wanting.
your
love-filled world.
generation has
That
to
is
do
not what we
it.
were talking
But guess
about.
what? That's not gonna. I can.
Why not?
Because it's
Do you
not
know-
what the world we live. That's
do you-
not what our
do you know
generation
anything
is.
about
I will go. I
Hey,
guarantee you.
war times is gonna bring that.
I
So,
guarantee you that if
honestly,
you went on
you can
any
say what you
social,
want to right now.
I know.
but
I'm just
See,
saying, go
yeah.
to any social media app right now, and
Why
I
social
guarantee
media?
you, huh?
Why social media? Why are you driven by social? Why do you listen to social media? I am off social media.
I'm
because
using
of
an
it.
example.
I am off almost every
Are you?
single social media.
I
platform
guarantee if I
because
went
of
to your
it.
phone, I'd see TikTok right
I
there.
have TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook for
So
all
you
of
have
you,
you
and that
have
is
the
it.
three most
And I don't-
popular
But I don't use
social
Snapchat
medias in the
anymore.
world.
I don't use Snapchat
What
anymore.
does that have to do with this whole thing?
That is he
Because
brought
I
up
haven't
social
finished
media.
talking because I'm being
Why do
interrupted.
you listen to social media? Why listen to everything?
I'm using it as an
everything
example.
is a lie. Everything you see on social media is a
I'm
lie.
just gonna talk. Anyway, if you use social media for example,
This is why she should have been a lawyer.
like I said 3 times,
I'm
use
bringing
social,
up psychology
use social
course.
media
Why
for
would it-
use social media for an example. Go to any social media app, and you will realize by, I would say maybe 60% of every person on there that's Gen Z or her generation. I will put money on the fact that you will realize that they are driven by an ego, that they are
Yes.
self-centered
That's why we're
around an
Yes.
ego.
Yes.
Sage, just stop
Cut
talking
it
and
off.
listen for a minute.
I'm listening.
Sage, he's been saying this all
If you
along, and
look
you've been
at that,
arguing
You
it.
say you're arguing
I
over
just
the,
said this.
and you're still arguing about it.
No, I think it's passion that you're hearing. It's not. She's not arguing.
Dude, I have
She's
it all on
passionate about
record.
And anyway,
It's
as I was
passion.
saying,
I
use
got
social
this whole
media for
argument
example.
recorded.
Too.
Use social media for an example,
that's-
and you will realize that 60% of both of our generations that are on there
We're
are
the same
driven by
generation.
their ego, and you'll realize that both of our generations are a
You're
few
in
years
the same
apart.
generation.
If you realize, no, we're
Yes.
diff-
You
You
are
are
the
the
same
same
you were Gen Z.
generation.
If
Absolutely.
you were a different generation, you'd be Generation Alpha, which didn't start until 2014.
Anyway, my
Thank
my point proven here is if you look at our generation, okay, our generation, you'll realize that there hasn't been a change since either of us have been born. There hasn't been a change back to where they want it to be. It's only been pushed more to the ego, self-centered side. So, in other words, I'm completely right that there hasn't been 1% of change pushed back that way. That I've said 4 fucking times now. But this narcissistic person won't listen.
Okay. Now we're
Respectfully. I say that respectfully.
Respectful. You're a narcissist, but I'm being respectful.
How?
I'm saying that respectfully.
Where? Do you even know the definition of narcissism? Where did that come from?
His father? Hello, I think that's like the epitome of a
Oh my God,
narcissist.
This is all your fault.
This conversation is over.
This is your fault.
No, this conversation is over.
Everything's my
It's
fault.
over.
I had you,
It's
both
over.
of you.
Exactly.
Listen, you guys are seeing eye to eye, and you're both extremely passionate. And what you're saying is true, and what she's saying is true.
It's not
Ron,
true.
hold up.
What
I am going to end this conversation right now because this is what happened. Dayton has been making the same point from get-go. Sage, on the other hand, has flip-flopped 15,000 times. And now she's making it out like she agreed with him when she was arguing with him about ego.
Well,
and I
no,
have it
it's
all
passion.
recorded, and I'll
But it's
prove it.
passion.
I
It is
came to
passion.
the realization
I will be in the car.
that we
I
were
am
talking about the same thing.
Yes.
That starting new things and realizing we're on the same page. That it was
actually
that was a
coming together.
realization that
Absolutely.
everything comes
No, 'cause I saw
together.
it
It brings up
happen.
my point
I
of
saw it happen.
perspective. It is all this.
Because what you were saying is
I'm walking away.
No, I know I'm not
I'm
wrong, but what she, I feel like what she isn't
But it's not
understanding.
exactly.
I need
She's
something
not-
harder
right.
than
She's
alcohol.
not listening to what I was saying the entire time. Notice when I asked her if she could repeat anything I said, she literally couldn't.
I need something harder
Stimulating.
than alcohol.
That's great.
Let's go find some dope.
Go ahead.
What?
Could we go now? I want my Wii remote.